You all asked and I am answering. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer, and today we are doing a get ready with me, my first one ever, about how I do my nails and get everything set up. So the very first thing I do is I go to the corner of my kitchen. I do not have a nail room yet. We are working on one for the basement, but it won't be done for a couple more months. So for right now, my nail area is this corner of my kitchen, and I have this huge cabinet. I'll make sure I link it. It's from Amazon. It is amazing. I had to find some kind of really tall locking cabinet because I have 3 kids. Now my 2 older ones definitely would not mess with my nail stuff. They know better. But my little guy, he is a wild man and he would definitely mess with my nail stuff. I cannot leave anything out. Then I have to keep my liquids in a different area of my house because right where I am in the kitchen is right by our baseboard heat. If I try to leave my liquids there, they get a little bit funky. I found that out. Unfortunately, I ruined some liquids. So now all of my liquids stay in these little Sterilte containers with lids in our pantry where there is no heat and it is nice and dark. It's kind of a pain to have to pull out my liquids every single time because I have the gel separate and then I have all the dip liquids and that's separate. But the upside is I'm not ruining my liquids anymore. So I basically will do anything to keep my liquids nice. And I like to get everything that I'm going to do for both my hands because if you haven't guessed yet, I do mismatch manis all the time. I have way too many dips and way too many ideas for manis to do matching hands. I know some people say like, oh my gosh, I can't do mismatch manis, but after doing my nails this many years, I can't imagine doing matching manis. I do them every once in a while. I think the last time I did them was almost a year ago for my brother's wedding. It's a rare occasion that I do that. So I get all my stuff ready. I set it up on my table. I get my paper towels out and now you actually get to see my face today. I thought it'd be fun. So this is what I do to like make sure my skin is all ready to dip because I wear a mask. So I go through and I take all my makeup off. I do not like to keep any makeup on when I'm dipping. I have before and I feel like it just makes my face, I don't know, like from all the dust, it just makes my face feel weird. So I just take some makeup wipes and like to wipe everything off. So you can see me makeup free too. At first I wasn't going to put the makeup free in, but you know what, whatever, like I like to be real here. Now what I also wanted to show you guys is how I keep from getting dip flu. I literally take pieces of cotton ball, put Vaseline on them and stick them up my nose and then wear this respirator mask. Oh, and I put Vicks Vapor Rub under my nose just to make sure that I never get dip flu. Anytime I'm using dip liquids, I do this, and if I'm using all gels, I just put the mask on alone. I haven't gotten dip flu in a really long time, but I'm afraid like that I'll start to develop it. So I just started doing this every single time, wearing the mask and that whole get up, just to make sure that I am being super safe and I don't want to breathe in any of the dip liquid odors because, you know, I get headaches really easily. And then the next thing that I like to do is I like to wear like, I don't know what I call them, like my Michael Jackson gloves. Sometimes I wear these disposable gloves. Like if I'm doing a fill on my builder gel, I usually wear disposable ones because I have a bunch of the UV gloves, but I don't want to waste them to get all dusty and dirty and then to have to switch them like when I'm ready to do my mani or try to get all that dust off. So I just snip off the top tips of the nail or of the gloves and use those a lot of the times, especially when I'm doing dip liquids. Now, the other thing that I like to do is make sure that all of my cuts are completely covered before I start dipping. So I had a really bad cut. I don't even remember how I sliced my hand. I don't know. I'm pretty clumsy. I sliced my finger open, so I made sure that I keep liquid Band-Aid. That is a must. Like in your nail area, if you are clumsy like me, make sure you have liquid Band-Aid, okay? It has saved my nails so many times when I've sliced them open doing a mani. Then I always keep builder gel on my nails. I tried to do Gel X tips for a while, but I went back to builder gel. I absolutely love builder gel. My nails grow like weeds when I keep it on. It is crazy. And then I like to do peel base, and depending on how long I want to keep my manis on will be how much peel base I do. I wanted to keep the manis that I was going to do. I wanted to keep them on about 2 days. I knew I wouldn't have a lot of time, but I also didn't feel like having to do any e-filing. I wanted them to just pop right off nicely. So I did a pretty thick layers of peel base for the manis that I was going to do, and they stayed on 2 days, and I think I popped them off at the end of the second day / day 3 just because I got tired at night and didn't feel like popping the rest of them off. I just did a video on how to apply peel base over your builder gel, so I'll make sure I link that in the description so you guys can check that out and see exactly how you apply peel base. And I give a bunch of tips and tricks for doing it over builder gel, over natural nails, and any of the different ways that, like, you know, you have to troubleshoot and stuff like that. After you do peel base over your builder gel mayonnaise, you're going to want to do a layer of dip base, a thin layer of dip base. And I notice this with peel base a lot, whether you're doing your natural nails, your builder gel, whether you have it over some layers of clear dip powder that have been activated and buffed and then top coated, you want to do a thin layer of dip base. When you're using peel base, it makes that first layer of dip powder just not go on as evenly. So I've found that if you do one thin layer of dip base over the peel base and let it completely dry before you start dipping, it's really going to help your mayonnaise go on a lot smoother. You won't have to do as many layers of the color. That's what I always do next after I put my peel base on. Obviously, if I'm not using peel base, which I do once in a while, if I know I'm going to have a couple weeks where I'm just not going to get to my nails, if I have a bunch of videos banked and I don't need to do mayonnaise to do some of my YouTube videos here, then I just won't use peel base, and I'll leave my mayonnaise on for like a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. Usually I don't go 2 weeks unless we are on vacation though. Applying this layer of dip base over my nails is when I start to get antsy just to get my mayonnaise started, because I'm like, okay, let's just get this done. I want to get my mayonnaise started. I am not exactly what anyone would call a patient person, so the fact that I even take all this time to do my nails, like, I'm pretty impressed with myself. Now, if you would like to know how to dip over these builder gel nails, well then check out this next video. Thanks so much for joining me today, nail crew.